All right, so this week we're going to be talking about meal prepping because we're going right into our nutrition habits starting next week with the actual food of protein. So remember, the mindful eating habit is very vital and very crucial because what it is designed to, remember, everything has a purpose. So you got to make sure you do every single thing we tell you to do in the sense of we're not expecting perfection, nothing like that. But if we say like, man, make sure you mindfully don't just blow this habit off and say, oh, I already do that or something like that. Because what this does is when you start eating your food, this will give you the control back over your eating. So you won't be overeating if you're taking your time and you're eating till satisfied. Then when you start consuming for the next 10 weeks, the healthy food that is good for your body, then all this will come together and help you to lose weight, feel great, all things like that. So you got to make sure you are mindfully eating. So when we ask you, how is mindful eating going, it's not about like, oh, well, I eat chicken breast and I eat salads and all that stuff. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about when you're mindfully eating, you want to make sure that you are eating slow and eating till satisfied. That's literally the only thing. You don't got to worry about, am I getting in all four food groups right now? Because you're not level two. Only person level two is Tracy Aaron and I think Erica Hockenberry. Those are the only two. So right now, you all don't have to put the stress on, oh, I got to get in all four food groups. I got to do this. I got to do that. That's not where you're at. That's called biting off too much that you can't chew. Remember, you're a babe, so you need milk first before you get the strong meat. So this is what we got to start with. Make sure we're mindfully eating. Really, really focus on that. So if you're not, like, focus on that and focus on tracking. Try not to forget to track. So let's say after I finish eating today, in the morning when I wake up, I'll go into my Alloy app and I'll honestly judge, man, did I mindfully eat or not? I think it was like Saturday and Sunday. I didn't mindfully eat. I passed the satisfied. So I didn't mark that one off. I was being honest. Then, you just get back on track. You don't say, oh man, I messed up on Saturday. I might as well do it Sunday. And then no, you get right back on track and you keep doing. Remember, we're preaching consistency. So that's 12 out of 14 days. That's our goal for mindful eating. So make sure you're tracking that in your Alloy app. Don't not track it and be like, oh, well, it's okay. I'm just not tracking. Like, make sure you do that because that's your only focus. That's literally all you got to focus on is making sure you're mindfully eating, and let's make sure we're keeping track of that, okay? But I know you're all doing a great job. We're coming in the gym. We're doing our thing. So let's keep this going. So meal prepping. So the definition is the action or process of making food or dishes ahead of schedule. So that first blank, that word is schedule. And that's crucial because we all have busy schedules. I don't think none of y'all are going to sit back and say, well, guess what? I just got 10 hours to just hang around the house all day and watch my favorite show. We don't have that. So meal prepping, what that does is that's you making food or a dish or whatever. You're making that ahead of schedule. So it's ahead of your schedule. You're being proactive. And one of the characteristics of a highly successful person is being proactive. Okay. Unless you literally have someone like a wife or a husband, or if you got money and you just got a maid at the house just making all your meals, you know what I'm saying? Like, meal prepping is crucial because trust me, on them long, stressful days, or when you're driving your car and you're about to go past that Burger King and McDonald's, look, it saved me a bunch of time because I knew I had food in the refrigerator already ready, so I didn't have to stop and get no quick, convenient, unhealthy food. Okay, so I'm gonna get into that as we go into the teaching. So remember, meal prepping is very important because it causes you to take the action. Remember, if you got faith that I'm gonna be healthy, but you ain't got no action, that faith is dead. So we know that. So you gotta put the action behind what you believe. If you believe you're going to be a healthy individual, you got to start putting the actions in it. Okay, so this allows us to do it ahead of schedule, yeah. So that's a good thing. That's why I wanted to teach on this one first, because we're about to get into it, which is going to tie right into our great teaching next week. I mean, in 2 weeks about time management. Okay. So why is meal prepping important? Number one, it acts as a defense mechanism against cheat meals. So that first blank is cheat. So it acts as a defense mechanism against cheat meals. All right. So if I'm meal prepping, like I said before, if I got food ready, then I'm not going to be like, oh man, y'all, let's go out and eat this, or let's go eat this. I already got food right. I already spent the money, and we're going to get down to that too at the grocery store. I got the food in there. So we can't say it's not convenient. It's not there. It's already made up. So now we just have a decision to make. We got a choice to make. Do I want to go with my healthy food that I already got made up? Or do I want to cheat on my goals and put myself back and do that? Okay, that's your decision you have to make. Number two, it helps you stick to your health and nutrition goals. So the first blank is health and the second one is nutrition. So in number two, it helps you stick to your health and nutrition goals. So if I got food already made up, obviously I have my healthy food that I already made up ahead of time. So it helps me stick to those goals. Number three, it gives you healthy option in the midst of a busy day. Sometimes our day is busy. Like I think I posted the other day, man, my breakfast, because I was on a run, I had to get my son, I had to do all this other stuff, and I used like cooking it. But I was like, all right, man, I think I had an apple, which was my carb, and my colorful fruit. I had a cheese stick, which was my fat. I had a protein bar, and then I think I had like a bottle of water, and I might have had some. I think that's it. Yeah. So I didn't get a veggie in that morning, but I had at least 3 out of 4 of my food groups for breakfast. That is what Tracy and Erica are practicing anyway, getting breakfast. So that would have been considered a good breakfast, because it doesn't matter how it looks, as long as you're getting in those food groups, Tracy and Erica, when it comes to that breakfast habit, you're good to go. But everybody else, when it comes to meal prepping or whatever the case is, I had some healthy options right there, ready to go out the door. My day was busy, but I made sure, because my health is a high priority to me, I made sure I was ready to go. All right, number 4, it saves time. I put make large batches of food at one time. So it saves you time. I'm telling you, as we start to get into it, your day is going to get crazy. You're going to start getting attacked. It just seems like every time you're trying to do something right and get healthy, attacks come. You're like, this person bothers me. Now I'm stressed. Because that's just the enemy of unhealth trying to make you unhealthy. So this saves you a lot of time, energy, and effort if you already got the food meal prep. So when it comes to your protein, don't just make one piece of chicken breast. You know what I'm saying? Make enough in large batches so you don't got to keep going back and making them and making them and making them. And I know some people are sometimes weird about, well, if the food is in there a few days, yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, at least make, if you know that, me, I can go a whole week, just make the food in there. But some people like 3-4 days sensitive, which is A-okay. So just make 3 to 4 days worth, and then schedule time. And you're going to see when I get down to there, schedule time on that 4th day that you're saying, all right, Thursday at this time, I got an hour, so I'm going to make me some more chicken breast. And when we start meal prepping, look, it don't take a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you start getting in the healthy practice of it. I can make my food for me and my wife for the whole entire week, and it takes me about an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? I can already have the meals prepped. Now, that's not saying we can't cook fresh food that week, but what I'm saying is we have go-tos right there and ready, easily accessible. Okay, because we're trying to make this eating healthy thing simple, practical, and we try to make it convenient for you. All right. The next one, it makes grocery shopping simple. Number 5 is shopping. It makes grocery shopping simple, so you're not going in there spending all type of money, grabbing all type of silly things if you already got your list ready. And that's a part of meal prep. And I'm gonna go through how do I meal prep, and you're going to see that. Number 6, I already mentioned it. It saves money. Eating out gets expensive. So this one, that blanket saves money. Number 6, eating out gets expensive. I'm eating out, going to convenience store. That starts to add up, add up, add up. If I take all that money I spent eating out, if I take all that money I spent, let's say if it's 70, 80, 90, $100 that month, man, you know how much food I could have got from the grocery store with that money? So it gets expensive. So meal prepping helps you save money, because if you keep going out all the time and trying to get that fast, convenient food, that starts to add up. I mean, you can go to Benihana's, boy, you spend $99. I'm like, wow, what type of bill is this? So yeah, so make sure you get your stuff. Number 7, it prepares you with go-to meals. And I love, and I don't know if you ever heard of go-to meals. So go-to meals just mean, look, me in my mind, I already know. Okay, I'm gonna go with the meatless meatballs. I'm gonna go with tofu. I'm gonna go with this. That. I already got my go-to proteins, go-to carbs, go-to veggies. I have that in my mind already, so I'm already prepared even before I even get the food. So when you're food prepping enough, you're gonna start getting to the rhythm. Like, okay, maybe I want to do like my wife Rachel's been amazing, so she's been cooking food as of late, and that's been great. So what she's been doing is she had cooked like 3 meals. Like I think she's doing like the meatless meatballs tonight, which is going to be amazing, and some veggies and quinoa and all that other stuff. So it's pretty cool. But already having go-to meals in there will be very important for you, because some nights you ain't wives and husbands, y'all don't feel like cooking that food. So what your meal prepping does, it prepares you with go-to meals already in there. I know if I go home at lunch, I got this. Dinner, I got this. So you already know what you got in there. Number 8, it says you have standards. That's the one thing that jumped out with me when I started meal prepping. Is like, it's just saying, like, I got standards. So if I know I'm about to go to a function or something like that, and I believe it's going to be all unhealthy food there, if I'm about to go to a friend's birthday party, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, I already meal prepped. So I already ate my food before I came. I'm gonna be over there. I eat my food right before I go. I'll be over there for 2 hours. I'm good to go. If they got something healthy, I'll choose that. Then I'll just come back home and do my thing. But that just saying I got standards. I will not lower my standards. So meal prepping saying, look, my health is a priority. That's my new standard in life. So because my standards are meal prepping and having food ready, I'm not going to easily cave into the peer pressures, because my standards won't allow me to. And you all got standards in life in certain things. Just start adding that to your nutrition, and man, you're gonna make being healthy super easy. And number 9, and I'm gonna teach on standards. That's the very next teaching that I'm gonna teach on next week. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Number 9, it causes eating to become simple and intentional. So I had a lady in my last transformation group, and she wasn't losing weight and stuff like that. And we was like towards the end, and I was like, all right, well, let me see your meal. I mean, let me see your what is that called? Let me see your thanks, Rach. Let me see your food journal. So she started keeping a food journal, for like the last. I think I told her to keep it like for 4 days. Then then when I saw that, I said, "Wow, I see why." Because your eating is not intentional at all. So when I started seeing that her eating wasn't intentional, then we started talking, and she was able to see, okay, I understand that. Because you think about it, it's going to take intentionality for me to be able to lose weight, because I intentionally put the weight on with bad habits. So good habits needs to be intentional, and food prepping needs to be intentional. So what food prepping does is it causes eating to become simple and intentional. Like, I intentionally made this food on Sundays so I can intentionally be ready for my busy week. So being intentional is very, very important. So that's what meal prepping does. It causes, so if you ever run into, man, it's so hard to get these foods in and da 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 da, go to meal prepping. It's going to make it super simple. Man, the goal of our program is to bring joy back to life and joy back to eating. And meal prepper brings joy, because then eating is not a stressful thing, because I already know what I got. All right. So how do I meal prep? I believe there's 7 steps. Could be more. Somebody that's been doing it for 40 years could say something different. But I believe these are practical, and these make you think. So how do I meal prep? Number 1, consider what foods you like to eat, or what foods you are trying to eat that week. Let's say for you, or protein is our first one. So I want to look at that grocery list that I got, and I want to consider starting next week. So you can probably start doing that this weekend. I want to consider, okay, what proteins do I want? Let me get, okay, for my snack, I might get cottage cheese and Greek yogurt. Okay. For my breakfast, I want to get eggs. I might want to get some protein, waffles, or whatever the case is. For my dinner, okay, I like salmon, I like fish, I mean, I'm sorry, I like salmon, I like meatballs, I like turkey, you know what I'm saying? So you are going to intentionally consider what foods you like and then what foods you are going to eat that week. All right. So that's the first step. So before you even go to the store and cook food, you got to sit and think and consider. Number two, you want to make sure you have enough food to last you that week. So even if you don't cook all the food at one time, make sure you got it in your cupboard, because when your weeks get busy and that's one of the main things over the years of doing this that I find out people say, like, man, I just run out of food. So make sure you have enough food to last you for that week, because at least if it's in your house, that gives you a better chance, because everybody don't live 5 minutes away from Walmart like I do. And then even if I do live 5 minutes, I don't feel like going to Walmart, first of all, in the first place, and second of all, I definitely don't feel like going to Walmart in the midst of a busy week when I just want to chill, relax, or I got a lot of work to do. So then number three, create your grocery list. Now let's start creating that grocery list. Okay. I know I want this. I want this for my protein. I want this for my carb. I want this for my. Y'all don't got to worry about all that stuff. I want to at least make sure I got my protein. So create that grocery list. I don't care what you got on that list right now, because we're not looking into all of that for level one. Now, level two, when it comes to Tracy, you do want to do more. So, okay, I want to make sure I got my protein. These are going to be my carbs. These are going to be my veggies. These are going to be my healthy fats. I want to make sure I got that ready for me to go, because your habit is going to be taste and see friendly meals. When what that means is you have to get in all four food groups with each meal. When I say meal, I mean breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's going to be for you, Trace. So meal prepping going to be important like that for you. But for my level one people, y'all main focus for your grocery list is, look, I got to make sure I got my protein. What protein do I want before I hit this store? Just so you won't be spending crazy money. Like, oh man, you know what? I like shrimp too. Oh man, come on now, like get your protein before you go and enter that store, so you won't just be, I see, I like. All right, number four, determine when you are going to cook the food. I highlighted this one because look, what good is a bunch of food just sitting in your freezer? You know what I'm saying? Food getting frostbite and getting all liquidy, just turning all nasty, and food just sitting in the cupboards all day. That's no good. So make sure you determine in your mind. So I know, okay, if I go to a grocery store, Rachel gonna go Friday, boom, Sunday, right after church between 1 and 3. Okay, boom, I'm gonna throw it all in there. Or Saturday, I ain't doing nothing. So this literally be that intentional. This makes it simple. You gotta be that intentional. Number five, order or pick up the food and the ingredients that you decided to eat. Now we're going to the store. And when I say order, I'll get to that one on the next one. Meal prepping services are great too, but make sure if you do a meal prep service, which is a-okay, you at least have, level one, your protein in there. Level two, make sure you got all four food groups in whatever meal you're going to get for your meal service. So we do have a meal prep service person, Rebecca. She was supposed to give me the information today, but I'll make sure that you all get that if you are struggling a little bit, you need some help. So it was pretty cool. I had a guy named Steve Norbert in the first one. He was doing amazing, and what he did was, for the first few weeks, he was getting Rebecca's meal, making sure he had the protein and the carbs and blah, 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 when he was getting down to his food. Then he got to a point and said, man, this is cool. I can make these foods. Then he started making the foods himself. So if a meal prepping service is something you got to do, ain't no shame in that, just to get you jump started. But I mean, some people, like I have one client right now that she's doing good. Her name is Christine, but she's not a part of the group or whatever. But she orders Becca's meals every week. Like that's her go-to. That's what she does. Becca meals are amazing, important. They are great, and I can make sure I get you that information if you need that. Okay, or I'll just get everybody the information anyway, just in case one week you say, look, all right, I'm good. I know how to do this thing, but I want to try something different. Boom. And then, like I said, make sure you got your food groups that you're going after. Okay. So if you're going after protein, make sure every got that serving size of that protein in there when y'all come to that. Okay. Number six, prepare the food you purchase or organize the food that you order. So prepare the food you purchase. That just means cook it. And number seven is going to be place that food that you cooked in containers and get ready for your week. So some people do it, and I don't do it personally. And you don't have to do it like that, but they actually get the containers and they put protein, veggies, and carbs in one little container and put it in there as their meal. And some people are that intentional that I'm not that. I mean, I'm not even saying nothing bad about it because that's cool, that's great. But me, I'm not that rigid about it. So it's not a bad thing. I just put, look, if I make corn, I just put all the corn in one, all the broccoli in one, all my meatless meatball, all my black bean burgers, all my tofu. If I get the fish, whatever, I just put all that in something. And then when it's time for me to go for a long day, boop, I just pick and choose what I want to eat. So I'm not say, okay, Wednesday, I gotta eat this. No, I don't have to eat that. I can pick, okay, if I want chicken this day, I want that day. If I want do, or if I come in the house, okay, man, I want this tofu tonight with this quinoa, and I want to get this asparagus. So, I just pick and choose what I want. So place your food in containers, put it in that refrigerator, get ready for the week. All right, coming down to the end, the three main dangers of not meal prepping. Now, remember, I'm telling you to meal prep because it's important. So I'm not giving you this information just so you can have more knowledge. What's the point of getting more knowledge if we're not acting on that knowledge? Then you become prideful. Then you just become a human encyclopedia, but then you don't get no results because you just got a ton of knowledge with no action. All right. So knowledge without action just becomes pride. It's like, I know, but you don't do. So it's all about the doing. You can know a ton of things, but if you ain't doing it, then what good is the knowledge, right? So the dangers of not meal prepping, number one, it increases your chances or your likelihood of making poor nutritional decisions. I remember one time perfectly, man. I was coming home and it's a Burger King. It's like food places like everywhere. So it's a Burger King right there. And I'm like, all right, I can stop in there, give me something real quick. But I remembered I had food right in the refrigerator. Boom. So I came to it. So look, don't think because you may see me, I look fit, healthy, or whatever, or anybody you may see. Look, we all got the same battle. It's just some people are more battle tested, more experienced, been in it a lot, so it becomes a little easier for them. But look, it's still a struggle every day, not to just go to the now. Once you start changing your mind and stuff, the struggle and the temptations are not as heavy on you, but it's still a struggle. Remember, you got K's and McDonald's and every place is right down so it's still a battle. So food prepping, even for myself, man, it makes my um food choices a lot better. So you will increase your chances of making poor nutritional decisions if you do not food prep. And hey, if you don't want to food prep, don't food prep and then come back to me and tell me if these things are false. And then I'll change them because I'm not prideful. I'll change them. Number two, it makes it harder to be nutritionally healthy in an unhealthy society. So we are 2/3 of Americans are obese and overweight, right? So that means we have a real unhealthy society. And man, if it wasn't for our advance in technology and medicine and stuff like that, we would be dying probably like a little past 50, 60 years old. But we can stay alive so long because of all we have. Like we have all the gyms and we have all these products and this pill and this doctor office and that doc. If we just had to naturally go off of just eating and living, man, we would be done. So that just says we have an unhealthy society. The number one killer in the U.S. is not gang violence, it's not racial tension, it's not all wars and all this stuff. It's cardiovascular disease, and a lot of that has to do with our nutrition. So what meal prepping does, what if you don't meal prep, it just makes it harder for you to be healthy in this unhealthy society. You can't even watch nothing on TV without a cheesy burger popping up in there, you know what I'm saying? Number three, so you run the risk of being caught off guard during a busy day. So the last blank is busy. First blank was decision, second one was unhealthy, third is busy day. So you just run that risk. I mean, don't take chances with your health because we've been doing that for long enough. We may say, oh yeah, I'm gonna have this for dinner, I'm gonna have that for dinner. You go to work, somebody make you mad, your day sucks, husband and wife arguing, girlfriend, boyfriend, kids, blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, man, my day got too busy. I'm arguing with everybody. Hey, just order the pizza. So all we gotta do is order the pizza and that will make everything all right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how we think as as humans. So you run the risk of being caught off guard. It just increases your chance so much if you already got the food prepared and made there. Trust me, try it, prove me wrong. So in conclusion, meal prepping is an integral part of creating a lifestyle of making healthy nutritional decisions, because that is what we're trying to do. So it's integral. That means vital. That means important. That means it is a must. So remember, when things start to become a must in your life and no longer a should, you increase your chances of being healthy. Lack of meal prepping only prepares you to stumble into reaching optimal health. And the chances of that is not likely. Like you won't see a person who is as healthy and they be like, well, I don't know how I got here. I mean, it's just I just woke up one day and look, I was just I was just ripped up. I was healthy. I was just like the most no, look, show me that person. I'm gonna be like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So that does not happen like that. So when you do not meal prep or lack of meal prepping, if you think you're going to just stumble into being healthy and lasting long and not having to take medicine when you're 65 years old, like that's not going to happen. All right. So making meal prepping a part of your week shows focus, intentionality, and it sets you up to execute on your goals.